the Heart House Review by Moody Boo Reviews.
Hi everyone, it's me Moody Boo, and I'm back with another house review. And this is on the house of Map of the Heart. Now I have 6 of the 7. I'm probably going to end up with number 7, Black Heart, which I really like, but I don't know that I'd ever wear it. Now I can say that about a couple other that I have here that I don't know how much I'm going to wear them, but I'm so glad I have them. I know. So Black Heart is incense and woods and eucalyptus and spices. And there's a little bit, I guess, of citrus in there. I don't get that. For me, it is all about the spices, the incense, the wood, and the eucalyptus. The eucalyptus comes on strong with Black Heart at first, but that settles down and mingles in with the wood and the spices and some of those other notes, the incenses or the incense. And it just becomes this amazing, it also gets a little sweet in the dry down too. I think if you are into perfumes like Black Afghano or, you know, some of those, Bulgari Black, some of those, I think you'd appreciate Black Heart. I love it. I think some people would think it's a little on the masculine side. I do not. I have almost used up my entire sample because I really adore it. I was really torn between getting it and Pink Heart, and I ended up with Pink Heart because I like the bottle better. So I'll just talk about Pink Heart. So Pink Heart, as I understand it, they wanted to kind of give you the vibe of new plastic kids' toys. You know, you get that sweet, plasticky, but fun, enjoyable smell when you'd open some new kids' toys. You really get that. When I first smelled it, I didn't care for it too much. But when I read what they were going for, I understood it. I get it. And yes, they nailed it. They absolutely nailed it. But it's a wearable plastic kid's toy. Believe it or not. So this is Narcissus and Tobacco. Squirrel. Narcissus, does it look like a daffodil? Are they the same thing, a daffodil and a narcissus? I don't know, but the picture that Fragrantica uses looks kind of like a daffodil. I am not a flower person, so I have no idea. So anyway, Narcissus and Tobacco and Broom and Sumac and Jasmine and Labdanum and Shiso and Nerolian, Sandalwood and Basil. I don't get the basil. In the dry down, you do get some woods in there, but it is all about tobacco. Now, see, I'm not sure what Broom and Sumac and Shiso smell like necessarily. So I'm assuming that all of these are combining to add this new toy, plastic scented toy. It's a scented toy though, and it's sweet. It does give you a floral vibe. I get the tobacco in there. I think the tobacco just keeps it from going like stratospheric. I mean, out there to the point where you'll never reach it again. It'll just start orbiting the earth. We'll never know about it again. So I think that's what the tobacco is for. But you do get a hint of that earthy vibe that tobacco adds. I can't even explain what kind of a vibe I'm talking about, but it's sweet. The notes are blended incredibly well, so I can't even really pick out anything. Not one thing. I get some white florals. I get florals in general, and I can tell that tobacco is there. This thing is just really cool because it's so well blended that all I can think about when I smell it are new scented plastic kids toys, like a doll or something. Yeah, like a new doll. So really, really incredibly well scented story here. or story scent, whichever way you want to go. I admire perfume houses and perfumers that can do that so well, that can, like zoologists, that can take a concept and make a fragrance that as soon as you smell that fragrance, you're immediately linked to that concept. You absolutely understand the concept. That's what Pink Heart does for me. Will I wear it? Probably not. It's not what I want to wear. It's just what I want to smell in my collection. The other ones now, there's many other in this, my Map of the Hearts, though, that I do wear often. Okay. Oh, performance is really good with Pink Heart, too. Easily 7-8 hours. I haven't worn it in hot weather. I think that would be a mistake. I think the hot weather would make it bloom. I think this is more for cooler nights. If you are going to wear it this time of year. Or, of course, cooler seasons. But amazing stuff. Is it unisex? Well, for a very secure, confident frag head, absolutely. For your average guy, probably not. It's one of the few that I can say the concept is so niche that it really does lend itself to little girls, you know, remembering being a little girl. So I don't know. I think every perfume can be worn by everybody, but it's up to you. Next. Now, Gold Heart and Purple Heart I'm not going to talk about, because Gold Heart I've done a review on, so I have on Purple Heart. I'll try to remember to leave a link above to both of those reviews, because they are my two favorites. So I did an individual review on both of them. And there's probably one or two more I could have done an individual review on, because they are that good to me. But I just thought I'd go ahead and get a house review out there, because I really want people to appreciate this house. I just think it's wonderful. It's based out of Australia, and they're amazing. And these bottles, what? Are you serious? Yeah, very cool. I mean, yeah. So Gold Heart, beautiful, milky, woody, gorgeous, gorgeous perfume. One of my favorites. And Purple Heart is just this beautiful, inky, fruity, woody, licorice, gorgeous perfume. Totally. These are both totally unisex. This reminds me of what I wish Lolita Lampica had risen to the level of. Because it does give me that vibe. It's like the older, more sophisticated cousin to Lolita. Amazing stuff. Performance on these two are crazy. 8 to 10 hours. Pretty easy, especially for this one. This one more like 7 or 8. And they all project really well for me. So at least arm's length, if not more. I think these both could be worn year-round. And I do. I wear them year-round. So, next. So then there's Red Heart. Gorgeous bottle too. They're all pretty. It's apple and musk and guava, and there's some white florals and some woods and spices and some patchouli and vanilla and a little bit of fruits in there and some molybdenum. And this has been a slow burner for me. I didn't care for it too much at first, even though red apple, right? That's one of my favorite notes. But this is the worst performer, of the bunch. For me, it only makes it 4 to 6 hours usually, and it gets pretty close to the skin, about elbow's length for most of that. So that's just a touch disappointing, but not that big a deal. It's apple and musk and guava. Oh, I already said all that. Bing! I guess it's because I don't get as much apple as I do musk and guava. I don't get a lot of white florals, a little bit of spice, a little bit of patchouli, definitely vanilla. It really is lovely, and it's growing on me. It's the whole performance thing that bugs me a little bit. So I do usually give it 2 to 3 blasts, which is very odd for me. In fact, I'm going to give it another one here. Good sprayers on these two. they really spread out. So if you don't want it in a huge area of your body when you're spraying, make sure you spray it a little closer, because it really sprays out. Now, when you first spray it, I totally get the guava and the musk. I really don't get the red apple until it starts to dry down, to be really honest. And the spices are just gently in the background. They're just a breath of spice in the background. Now, see, I think people who like, and I love, Paco Rabanne, what is it, Excess? Yeah, Excess. They're really cool. It's almost a bottle like this. It's red, kind of heart shaped, but not anatomical, more, you know, cartoonish kind of heart. Not cartoon, but you know. I've gone through a bottle of that, and I actually bought a second bottle and then broke the top. So I don't wear it. I just let it sit there and evaporate in my bedroom because I don't have anything to put it in, and I just used the little sprayer, and I didn't. Anyway, it's almost gone. I have only worn probably half of it. The other half is evaporated. I know, but I love Paco Rabanne Excess for her. Love those. Then there was another one. I got two. There was Excess, and there was a flanker, I think. And I had both of them, and I loved them both. I think if you like that kind of perfume, it's in the vein of that. It reminds me a little bit of that. Not a lot. It's a little, I think, sweeter than that one. As I remember, that one's a little tartar. Just a touch tartar. This one's a little more on the sweet side. So, but they have that vibe to them. Yep, it's a slow burner, but it's starting to burn my buns a little bit, and I'm starting to like it a lot. So, Red Heart. Next. Oh, totally unisex. This is totally unisex too. Absolutely. I think Paco Rabanne Excess for her, though, is totally unisex. So, all right. Next. So another one I have that surprised me because I liked it right off the bat. By the second wearing, I was going, yep, I'm buying a full bottle of this one too. And that's Clear Heart. This is aquatic notes and green notes and peony and black currant, and there's some sandalwood and some citruses and neroli and musk and iris and woody notes, and I think it's cedar and some molybdenum. The combination of the aquatic notes, the green notes, the peony, and the black currant on the top is wonderful. I love it. And I'm not into aquatics at all. I'm really not. There are a few exceptions, like Silver Mountain Water, Desert Island perfume, for sure. This one, I'm telling you, you can't tell because performance in this is really good for an aquatic that's crazy, but it's like 6 to 8 hours. And that's insane for an aquatic perfume, as anybody who loves aquatics knows. And it projects really well, too. It's like arm's length for a couple hours, and then it comes to elbow's length and stays there. It does become skin scent the last hour or two, but it's an aquatic, and it performs really well. So, but for me, it's all about aquatics, green, peony, and black currant for a good hour. And then when the woods and even the neroli, and I'm not always a big neroli person, but when the woods and the neroli kicks in and some of those other citruses, that's my favorite part because it becomes warmer and yet it stays wet and moist without being drippy. And oh, it's sweet, slightly tart, I think because of the black currant and the neroli and the citruses, but it's got sweetness, and I'm sure that's the peony because, man, peonies can be sweet. We have them all over the place around my neck of the woods, and they are just this incredibly sweet, thick, decadent kind of a fragrant flower. And I get that in this. But This is going to be one of my summer go-tos. I've just started to wear it for the season. It's only been hot here for the last week or two. So I'm just starting to wear it and see how it does in the hot weather. And it's doing pretty good. Not as good as a little cooler temperatures like springtime, but summertime it's doing pretty good. It, like I said, about 6 hours. Totally unisex. I think you could wear this day or night. Purple Heart and Gold Heart, I think those are go out and have fun at night kind of perfumes, but they also could be formal perfumes. Pink Heart, no. And Black Heart, I would not wear to work or for daytime. Pink Heart is more of a perfume you wear for yourself, I think. I don't know how it would go over out in the community. And Black Heart, it's really good once it dries down, but I wouldn't go do it. It's definitely nighttime, but I wouldn't go do anything until you get that dry down after about an hour or so. This one's gorgeous all the way through. Totally not one that anybody would be offended by whatsoever. Most aquatics aren't, though. So, love it. Surprise! Who knew? Boo loves an aquatic. So, shocker. Next. So the last one is White Heart. So this is plum and oud and cardamom and lavender and gardenia and incense and labdanum and copaiba balm. I don't know what that is. I don't know. And vetiver and solar notes and some sandalwood and some cypriol. I don't know what that is either. But it's irrelevant. Because for me, this is all about the plum, the cardamom, the gardenia, and the lavender for easily an hour or two when you first spray it. And that gardenia stays throughout, and the plum, it stays, I think it's this pluminia. Yeah. This plum gardenia combination that's so well blended, it's like making its own note. And that stays throughout the whole thing. It's sweet with a hint of tart, and yet it's light. It's not too thick or too sweet like white florals can be, because I consider this a white floral. I really do. But this is not a super thick, decadent white floral. This is a fruity, slightly, I'd say aromatic almost, kind of a white floral. It's so pretty. This is a white floral that I reach for. Even though, you know, I don't know if most people would categorize it as that, but that's what I get. The gardenia is huge in this, but it's mixed with the plum. Pluminia. Yeah. It's becoming one of my favorite Map of the Hearts. And that shocked the shitski out of me. Performance on this is really good. I get 8 hours easily. Stays arm's length. Most of that comes to about elbow's length. This house is so good. It's so good. So anyway, I know that was a long, convoluted review, house review. But I've been meaning to do this. I really wanted to know the perfumes well before I did a review on them, because I love this house. Love this house. I'm a huge Australia fan too. It's on my bucket list to go to Australia and snorkel on the Great Barrier Reef. That's one of my husband's and I's favorite things to fantasize about, at least. But we're getting too old to make the plane trip. So now, as I understand it, the Farallon Islands off California is doing great white cage dives. So we're thinking about going and doing that. Why'd I go off on that? Anyway, who knows? All right, well, I better get going and use your own nose. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you soon. Peace.